All right, go and find that comfortable seat. Allow your spine to lift, your shoulders to settle, and then take a full inhale and sigh it out. Arrive into the space, onto your mat, into your body. Connect with the sounds, the smells, the temperature of the air, just allowing yourself to become more and more present. Taking another full inhale and let it go. Drop into that physical body today. Scanning from head to toe, shoulders to fingers. Acknowledging any areas of tightness, concern, any injuries, any fatigue. Honoring those areas as you start to move today. This practice is going to honor this first day of spring, like a spring cleanse. We're going to start off with some yin yoga, a little longer holds, 3 minutes for each hold. As we do, thinking of cleansing out the liver and the gallbladder meridians, allowing yourself to feel more renewed as we move in toward that flow. And just a good full body stretch and flow to feel rejuvenated and ready to move forward in your day. Take another full inhale and let it go. Tuning into that mental and emotional side. Acknowledge those thoughts, any emotions attached to those thoughts. Give all of that some validity. Give all of that some loving kindness. As we continue with that theme of cleansing, maybe cleansing thoughts, cleansing emotions, letting go of things that no longer serve you. If during this time when you are in the yin session at the beginning, if you have things that are popping up, take some time to jot them down, let them go with some loving kindness, and then bring yourself back to the present. Take another full inhale here. And let it go. And just start to lengthen and deepen your breath here. Find that inhale 4, exhale 4, nice and smooth. And as you do, imagine that breath, that in-breath, nice nourishing, cleansing, drawing it into the lungs, that oxygen spreading through the body, collecting what is no longer needed by the body, that carbon dioxide, and then sending it out on that exhale. Letting go, breathing in that newer breath, letting go of the old breath. Just finding that smooth, steady state. Focusing in on the intention of cleansing, letting go, whatever feels more appropriate for you today. It may or may not feel like spring where you are, but it is the astronomical spring day today. That first day of spring. Allowing yourself to let go and cleanse in whatever way feels best to you. Set that intention as we open this practice with that sound of Om. Bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Exhale fully. Inhale. Allowing those hands to come down, allow the eyes to blink open. And we'll move into our first posture. We're going to do half Hanuman, so that half splits. So bring your blocks forward, coming up onto all fours. As you're on all fours, just to kind of move the body just for a moment after that sitting, do one round of cat-cow, just nice and slow. Let the belly drop, shoulder blades squeeze, chest comes forward. And then pressing into the hands round the spine, chin to chest. Come to that neutral spine. Take that right foot, step it forward. Wiggle that foot forward a little bit. Use any padding you need to under that back knee. And then any props you might need, maybe the props come on the inside of the leg so you have a little bit more accessibility here. And then just straighten that front leg. So we're just going to be here a short time, not super long, but just kind of holding into this here. So a little half Hanuman. So your leg is not super active, right? Your toes don't have to be pulled back. You're letting yourself drop down, and maybe you need the blocks on a lower level, maybe you need them on a higher level. Just breathing into it here. Noticing the sensation along the back of that right leg. Maybe some of that sensation into the arms as you support yourself. If you can let go through the neck, let the head dangle. Soften through the shoulders, letting that chest grow further toward the floor, toward the leg. About one more minute here. And keeping in line with that cleansing theme, creating a little bit of tapas, a little bit of heat, a little bit of irritation in the body. It's that place of discomfort to allow yourself to let go of expectations, let go of those woulds, coulds, or shoulds. Allow yourself to settle into knowing that soon you will be able to release from this, let go of the discomfort, then find some ease. A few more deep rounds of breath. Take a full inhale here. And let it go. On your next inhale, start to lift yourself up. Going very slowly. Mindfully bend back into that right knee. Slide that foot back. And then you're going to start to sit back. You're going to come to half hero pose. So maybe you sit on a block underneath your hips, but that left knee is going to be bent. Maybe you sit all the way down onto the ground. So left knee's bent, that right leg's going to be out. It's going to have a little bit of release. So depending on where you need to sit, just coming into that nice little half hero pose, sitting up nice and tall. You might have a little bit more range of motion. Maybe you drop your chest back, keeping that left leg bent. As you drop back, press into the elbows, lengthen the tailbone toward the end of your mat. Maybe you take that block and you slide it underneath your upper back and you release back a little bit more. Maybe you take another block or your hands and hold on to the back of your head, allowing yourself to just open up through that front body. Nice, full, deep breaths here. Dropping into that discomfort, finding your edge, that place where you can breathe freely, but still have that intense sensation. Feeling that front body open and expand. Allowing yourself to breathe fully. It's a breath here. Dropping into those sensations of the body. Going back to that intention of cleansing the body or letting go what is no longer serving you. Visualizing that air coming in, having renewing properties, and the breath going out, letting go of those things that are no longer serving you in a positive way. Take a full inhale here. And let it go. Slowly start to bring your chin toward your chest. Slide your elbows beneath you. Press into those palms and slowly press yourself up to seated. Good. Roll yourself toward that right side so you can let that left leg out. And just pause for a moment there. We'll just be a moment. We're going to go into our next pose. With this next pose, you're going to take that same leg, that left leg, you're going to bring it over the right knee. And then rotating the hands, reach those fingers back. Start to bend into the elbows so that you can bend your right knee. So that little seated figure four. So we're still opening up our chest, kind of locking out those elbows. And then just kind of moving that right leg in until you feel that left hip engage and feel that sensation. Relax the left leg. Let the shoulders draw toward your ears as you lean back and continue to breathe. If you feel like you need more sensation in that left hip, you're going to press into your hands, press into your right foot, lift your hips, slide your hips closer to that right heel, keeping the hands where they are, and press the chest forward. So that's just going to give you a little deeper sensation into that left hip. You can even lean a little bit toward the right. That's going to intensify that stretch, sensation. And if you can, relax your head, drop your chin to your chest. Working through lots of joints here, the knee, the hip, the shoulder, the wrist, the neck. Nice deep inhales and exhales. A couple more deep breaths here. Spending some time with our breath, tapping into those sensations as we start this practice of renewal, of cleansing. Take a full inhale here. And let it go. Putting a little bend back into those elbows. Slowly start to lengthen the right leg. Take the left leg, extend it long, sitting up nice and tall for a moment. Rest those hands on your thighs. And just pause there. Take a moment. Then we'll move into the next pose. Take that left knee once again, bend it, bring it your left foot into your right thigh. And then open yourself up. Draw that left knee open a little bit more so you're more wide than narrow. And then start to take that right hand toward the right leg. So we're coming into a little side stretch here as well as that hamstring stretch. Open the chest. You might need a block maybe under your elbow on either side of that leg. And then just keep opening up the chest. You have two options here with that left arm. You can slide it behind you to get a little neck stretch. Or if you want to continue into that side stretch, take that arm overhead and then let that arm just kind of relax over the top of your head. I like here so that my neck feels supported to bend my bottom elbow. So I give that to some support. And then I make a little fist and place it on the side of my head so that I have that little bit of support for my neck. And once you're here, take those nice deep inhales and exhales. So again, finding that little lateral flexion of the spine. Feeling the sensation along maybe the back of the right leg. Definitely in that left outer hip. If your arm's overhead, definitely into the side waist. And using that breath to get in a little bit deeper into each of these little areas. Using that breath to direct the energy flow to these areas that might feel stagnant, might feel like that energy is stuck. Let each breath bring that renewing, cleansing breath to those areas. And with each exhale, letting go of that stagnant, stale breath, that energy that is stuck. A few more rounds of breath here. Take a full inhale here. And let it go. Slowly, if that top arm is above you, bring it down by your side. If it's behind you, bring it out by your side. And then slowly start to press yourself up. Lengthening the spine, pausing there for a moment. And then slowly start to bend into that right knee, assisting it. Bring the soles of your feet together. Coming into that Baddha Konasana, that long-legged butterfly. And from here, lift the chest and then start to round the spine. Rounding in, dropping down. Arms can stay on the inside, they can go outside, they can go underneath the legs. Maybe your head's dangling, maybe it's propped. But just coming into this rounding sensation of the body. Getting into the hips, the spine. And again, using that nice, smooth, steady breath to drop into the pose a little bit more with just the use of your breath. Allowing gravity to help that breath bring you into the pose a little bit deeper to that edge of your discomfort without putting you over the edge, without going to that place of gripping, of tensing, trying to keep everything soft, including the neck, jaw, and shoulders. Noticing the different sensations in the body as you breathe. Take a full inhale here. And let it go. Good. Mindfully bring yourself out. Nice and slow, stacking that spine. Let the head be the last thing to rise. And then helping the knees, draw those knees up. We're gonna come back to our hands and knees. Having those blocks handy, we're gonna do all of that on the second side. Once you get to your hands and knees, do a little cat-cow again. As you inhale, let the belly drop, shoulder blades squeeze, lengthen that spine. And then as you exhale, press into the hands, round the spine, tuck the tailbone. Coming back to that neutral spine. And you're going to take that left foot and step it forward. Left foot steps forward. Wiggle that foot forward a little bit. Let the hips drop slightly and then start to shift the weight. So let that front leg, let the toes go where they're going to go. Let the chest lengthen forward. Relax the shoulders and jaw. Adjust to where you feel that edge of discomfort on the back of that extended left leg. And then just drop into stillness. Allowing your breath to help you expand and deepen into this pose. Really focusing on that breath. Focusing on the sensations. Keeping that intention in mind of letting go, cleansing. Trying to bring and keep yourself into that present moment. Another full inhale here. And let it go. And as you mindfully walk those hands back underneath the shoulders. And slowly bend back into that front knee. And then walking yourself back again, placing a block underneath your hips if you need it. Continue to walk back so you're coming into that half hero. So that right knee is bent. And again, if you don't need anything underneath you, come all the way to the floor. And again, just kind of adjust here. Noticing what's going on in that right side. And again, you have the option to go back a little bit deeper. Maybe you drop back to your elbows. Maybe you drop back onto a block. But if you start to drop back, press down into the legs, lengthen the tailbone toward the end of your mat so that you lengthen the spine, finding that openness in the chest. And then start to settle in here. Take a few deep cleansing breaths. Allowing yourself to drop in. Remembering not to go past your edge. Putting into the sensations on the front side of the body. Expanding with every inhale. And releasing with each exhale. A few more rounds of breath here. A full inhale here. Sigh it out. Mindfully start to bring yourself up, moving nice and slow. Back to that seated position. And then lean over into that left side. Take that right leg extended out. Pausing there for a moment. Notice the sensations on the right side. Good, and then taking those hands, bringing them back behind you. Taking that right foot, take the right ankle to the left knee. And then press into those hands, bend into the elbows, bend into that left knee. And then just kind of check in with that edge for that right hip. So coming into that figure four. Good, breathing here. If you feel like you need a little bit more sensation in that right side, press into the hands, press into the foot, lift the hips, slide your hips closer to that left foot. And then maybe lean a little bit more into that left side. Good. Let your shoulders relax, let your head drop down. Just kind of breathing into that space here. If it becomes too much sensation into your arms, you can always roll onto your back and come into that figure four where you're holding the leg into your body. Sometimes the sensation in the arms can become a little too intense. But again, we're working with that liver and the gallbladder meridians. Then they run up the long side of the body and through the shoulders, up through the side of the head. Definitely along the hips, back side of the body. Just breathing into those areas here. The full inhale here. And let it go. Bending back into those elbows. Lengthening out that left leg. Take the right leg to meet it. Pausing there as you sit up. Rest those hands on your thighs. And notice the sensations here. Keeping that right knee, you're going to take that right foot, bring it into the left thigh, opening yourself up. So you have this nice big openness. And again, block can be on the inside or the outside of that left leg. Just to lean toward that left leg. Finding that openness through the chest, start to rotate, lengthen. And again, you have that option, right arm behind the body or right arm over the body. And let it rest. If it's going over the top, that left hand can become a fist and rest on the head to give the neck a little bit more support. And then as you breathe, start to feel the lengthening of that right side. Keeping the jaw and shoulders soft. Allow the breath to help you get into the pose a little deeper. Visualizing those breaths as cleansing breaths. Bringing the body nutrient-rich air. And then gathering that air that is not full of nutrients, that is stale, that is needing to be re-energized, letting that expel through the body, through the nose. And continuing that cycle, renewing the body with the breath, allowing that breath to energize the body, to move that energy through the body. As you sit in that slight discomfort, a few more deep rounds of breath here. Take a full inhale here. And let it go. Mindfully take that right arm back to center. And then mindfully press yourself up to seated. Feel the length in the spine, pause. And then slowly help that left leg in, bring the soles of your feet together, coming into that long-legged butterfly. So having space between your heels and your pubic bone. Slowly start to round it forward. Again, arms can go forward, they can go under the knees, they can go backwards. Head can dangle, head can rest on something, but allow yourself to round in. And again, using those deep cleansing breaths, feeling yourself settle into the hips, the low back, the spine, letting those shoulders and jaw be soft. Letting your breath continue to be full and even. Few more rounds of deep breaths. Take a full inhale here. And let it go. Mindfully bring yourself all the way up, lengthening up through the top of the head. Pausing there. Helping those knees up, extend the legs out. And just pause here. Bring yourself back to that intention. of cleansing, of renewal. And kind of take a moment here and pause and see what you need in your body. I recommend if you're going into Shavasana from here, maybe do a little of that butterfly as you recline, maybe opening up through the heart a few moments. And staying there and allowing yourself to linger as long as you need. You feel like maybe you would rather sit and meditate and think about your intention. Allow yourself to come into that comfortable seat, lifting the chest, arriving into this space, onto your mat, into your body. Taking a couple cleansing breaths, acknowledging the cleanse of the breath, the renewal of that energizing breath, and allowing yourself to just let go of anything that's no longer serving you. Allowing yourself to stay here for a few more moments. Staying with that thought of cleansing, of renewal, of letting go. And then when you're finished, maybe taking some time to journal, to write down what spring means to you. Allow yourself to be in this space for as long as you need. Continue to enjoy your practice.